There is a very significant number for Juri, and every Juri player should know it. That number is the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. And that number is 42. 42 is a number of frames that you need to be advantage after a knockdown to get a safe jump. This means when I knock an opponent down, if I'm advantage 42 on the frame meter, that means I'm safe to jump in. I have an in-depth video about safe jumps, and if you want to know more about them, I'll have a link to that video in the description below. Simply put, a safe jump is a frame-perfect setup that allows you to jump in and be safe from reversals and still attack your opponent. In Feng Shui Engine, I can give you a lot of different safe jumps that you can use and still maintain pressure. But Feng Shui Engine only lasts for 10 seconds, and you might not be able to use it too much, or maybe you don't use Feng Shui Engine. And being a Feng Shui Engine enjoyer, I love using safe jumps for Feng Shui Engine. Well, let's talk about a lesser known non-Feng Shui Engine safe jump, and that's going to be in the corner, standing heavy punch, Ankensatsu, crouching medium punch, OD Sayasho. Doing this string in the corner will allow us to get 42 frames, and this will also allow us to safe jump in without fear. If Ryu blocks this, we can keep our pressure going. This is a safe jump that I don't use often because it costs 2 bars, but that doesn't mean it's not a powerful option. If we do this sequence as is, we get 42 frames. But you might also ask, why do we have to do standing heavy punch? Why can't we use crouching heavy punch? If we do crouching heavy punch, we don't get 42. We actually get 43 frames. Changing that one button changes the spacing. The spacing changes the frame advantage because of how long the fireball will travel for. So that got me thinking, if it's a matter of distance, theoretically, there has to be more options for this. So how can we get into the standing heavy punch Ankensatsu starter? Drive rush is an option. Will this allow us to keep that frame advantage? 42. What if we start low? 42. Well, what if the opponent is crouching? Because the heavy punch will force stand. So let's see if that still works. 42. What about slightly further out? 42. Seems like for the most part, as long as the crouching medium punch works, it should always give us that 42 frame safe jump. Well, what about going Sayasho and Ankensatsu first? Does that change the frame advantage? It does. 41 frame. We'll come back to this one later. How about OD Ankensatsu? 42. In theory, we might be able to eyeball the 42 frames and just do it raw. But this would be too hard because it seems like, well, there it is. The slight differences in distance is going to change that value drastically. Randomly, I was playing around with this setup here. If the opponent is crouching, you're +6 after the fireball, which means you can combo afterwards. But instead of doing the fireball, I did OD fireball by accident, and I looked at the frame advantage and it said 42. This sequence is something that we do all the time, but in fact, we usually end it with DP. Or we could end it with super. So I thought, this whole time, did this easy sequence, was this a safe jump right under our nose the whole time? And the answer is, well, yeah. But also, kind of not. If your opponent is standing, their hitbox is skinnier. And when they crouch, they're fatter, so moves might connect in ways that you're not expecting. So if your opponent is crouching, this combo will work fine. So when can we use this? So maybe on a frame trap. I tried it out, and we got 41. It doesn't work. But what if we use drive rush to normalize the distance? Here's your 42. The problem is we use almost all of our meter to do so. So that kind of stinks. Well, there are times when I would hit a counter hit or a punish counter against someone trying to hit a button. So let's see. There it is. In theory, anytime that we hit a poke and we go into drive rush where we would have done crouching heavy punch, instead if we did standing medium punch twice, crouching medium punch, OD Sayasho, there's your safe jump. But the damage on that is only 1904. Let's look at the version where we force stand. A little bit more damage, and there's your safe jump. So we talked about this sequence on crouching, that it gives you a different frame advantage. This is +6, which allows us that combo at the end of it. After the first Sayasho, we're pretty far away. Does that give us 42? Nope. But this is a common string that I'll use to lock someone down in the corner. What if they press a button after the fireball? This is a time where I would probably use the DP to get the knockdown. But now that I know that if they press a button and they're crouching, I can jump in, this might lead to situations where I can sacrifice on the front end and get more damage on the back end. So let's go back to the Ankensatsu crouching medium punch route. The key is to normalize everything that we can. For this setup, it's going to be space, timing, and whether or not someone is crouching or standing. We can look at knockdowns to normalize some of the setups. This throw punish should always give us the same frame advantage, but the crouching medium punch doesn't hit from here. So what about using other buttons to go into Ankensatsu? 43, no go. Here's your 42. Punishing the throw with a backdash here, using the forward medium punch Ankensatsu, you can go into the safe jump. A common throw bait that I use is drive rush medium punch on block. And I tend to walk backwards and then back in to bait the throw. So if they block, I'm right back in. But if they go for a throw, I'm in range to attack. And the punish I would use here would be something like this. Looks familiar. So let's test it. 42. Some people like to do a neutral jump to bait a throw. In this case here, you can go for the forward jump and get the safe jump. But on a neutral jump, you can't do anything heavy. And using a neutral jump medium punch doesn't allow you to be plus enough to hit the heavy punch. Now, in this case here, we could use our drive rush and go into it in this way. But maybe you want to use it. But in my opinion, this is a bit wasteful because we're almost burnt out. Instead, let's use some of our stocks. 41. Let's switch over to a character like Akuma. In this case here, even though we're only plus 41, and even though we're safe against Akuma's DP at plus 41, Akuma's DP is 6 frames. And instead, if we use the 5-frame light DP, the light DP acts as an anti-air and is 1 frame faster, which punishes us. This is why plus 41 is not enough to use it as a safe jump most of the time. However, against a true safe jump, that light DP will still get blocked. If we look at the distance where we are after the plus 41 knockdown, since we're so far away from Akuma when he does it, it is a bit hard to see on the frame meter because of how it wraps around. But we're so far away that even though the DP comes out on frame 5, it doesn't connect with us until frame 6. This is because the DP has to travel. Because the DP has to travel to reach us for that 1 frame, it allows us to safe jump it, even though it's 5 frames. So if that's true, using the DP, we should be able to safe jump it. Cool. And now we test. Here's your plus 41. And there's other characters that can't be safe jump like Honda. So let's try the situation where we're plus 41 and see if that works. It does not. But I know that we can safe jump Honda if we use a quicker button like light kick. So in this plus 41 situation, let's try a lighter button. Perfect. So let's go back to the throw punish like this. If we get the throw whiff, we could dump resources in, get the plus 41, and safe jump the sumo headbutt. It's common to use the frame advantage off of a block jump in and go for a throw. We can also use this frame advantage to use Ankensatsu to avoid the throw. We don't have to use OD Ankensatsu. We could use regular Ankensatsu. Both allow us enough frame advantage to go into heavy punch afterwards, which is what we need to go into the safe jump. And that's 42. And with this in mind, you can get creative. In this case here, this sets up a trade and then loops back into another safe jump. These videos are made to be less of what you should be doing and more of what you can do. They're meant to be inspiration, and they're meant to just get you started on a concept, and hopefully you explore it more. If you take this concept and find anything else, you can always leave it in the comment section below, or join the Discord where I'll have the link in the description. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. And I hope to see you on one of the streams here on YouTube or at twitch.tv/BigNastyKail, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thank you for watching. Make sure to tell your loved ones that you love them, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.